Ah, my goddess. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. But that's new. So the next one I will talk about is being transgender a mental disorder? Before I read this, I'm just going to say no. For anyone who thinks it's a mental disorder, you should get shot in the head. Because it's not a mental disorder. It is how they feel in the inside. And you may say that you don't believe that God would make a mistake. But maybe you don't know. Maybe God wants that person to be in the biologically sex body for a reason. You don't know that. And then they grew up and discover that they want to be different. Because, like, God, in my opinion, if there is a Christian God, not even He can be perfect, in my opinion. And He wants everybody to be different and have a little bit of not perfectness. So I'm just going to read what it says here. Okay. A psychological state is considered a mental disorder only if it causes significant distress or disability. Many transgender people do not experience their gender as distressing or disabling, which implies that identifying as transgender does not constitute a mental disorder. For these individuals, the significant problems is finding affordable resources, such as counseling, hormone therapy, medical procedures, and the social support necessary to freely express their gender identity and minimize discrimination. Many other obstacles may lead to distress, including a lack of acceptance within society, direct or indirect experiences with discrimination or assault. These experiences may lead many transgender people to suffer with anxiety, depression, or related disorders at higher rates than non-transgender persons. So, they could get depression and get suicidal, get anxiety. Those are mental disorders. But transgender itself is not a mental disorder. Whether you can say it is, because it makes no sense to you, because who wants to be the opposite sex? I don't feel like that. I'm 100% a female. But still, it's not a mental disorder. In the United States, payment for health care, treatment for insurance companies, Medicare and Medicaid must be for a specific disorder, defined as a condition within the International Classification of Diseases, ICD, or the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, DSM-IV. According to DSM-IV, people who experience intense, persistent gender incongruence can be given the diagnosis of gender identity disorder. This diagnosis is highly controversial among some mental health professionals and transgender communities. Some contend that the diagnosis inappropriately pathologizes gender non-congruence and should be eliminated. Others argue that it is essential to retain the diagnosis to ensure access to care. So that's the definition of a mental disorder. You cannot care about someone who's transgender, because that's their human right. That's how they feel inside. They feel like they are the opposite sex, and therefore they have the right to express who they are. That doesn't mean they have a mental disorder. They could end up getting a mental disorder if they get bullied because they're transgender, or they get anxious of coming out. That's mental disorder. There's something wrong with your brain. But being transgender, that's who they are. And I'm going to stress that. That's who they are. So I hope you find that video very educational. See you next time. Bye now.